What is up, guys? I'm here with my client, Ernest. He has absolutely crushed this program, and I wanted to just bring him on to share some wins. Ernest, what's up, man?
How's it going? Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell us, who are you? How long have you been doing what you're doing? Who do you help? And yeah, just kind of give us a quick background.
All right. So my company is ran by my wife and I, and it's called A&E Wellness. So we handle personal training, as well as personal in-home yoga. And also we do a lot of corporate wellness, which covers anything from boot camps to yoga to mindfulness to relationship building, in company relationship building, all the way to lunch and learns, where I sit down and we buy the company lunch, and then we teach them something that they need to know, like corrective stretches to do and desk injury prevention.
Mhm.
We kind of cover all the injuries and all the issues that occur while having a desk job, a sedentary desk job,
Mhm.
uh, and how to kind of combat those said injuries.
Mhm. Cool, man. So then you've obviously been doing a lot of stuff. Before we started, what would you say, was your biggest challenge or problem?
So my wife and I were kind of at we'll call it a financial wall, due to our schedule restrictions. So our schedules were for the most part booked out, and that didn't allow us to have access to the ability to bring in more income. Now we could have what we had in mind as the next step, which we have implemented just to a smaller degree, thanks to this program. But before this program, it was going to be at a larger degree where we were going to implement employees.
Mhm.
But with the new tax laws that were in place, we kind of couldn't have W-2s,
Mhm.
W-2 partners. So we had to go the employee route, which in the front end it was going to cost a lot more money because we have to pay for the insurance. We have to make sure that there's injury protection, just more insurance. So it was really going to cost a lot. And for it to be effective, we really had to bring on a lot of employees.
Yeah.
And that was going to kind of be a lot more than we wanted to take on, since before we met, my wife was pregnant. And now that we're having an interview, we've had our baby. So
Yeah.
that's not something that we kind of wanted to take on with a new child. Um, so we were kind of at a standstill as to, how can we increase our revenue. I mean, because we were already at a pretty good point. We were already making a good amount of money, but we kind of wanted more, just because in California it's really expensive. So we're
Yeah.
thinking more about the long term and what we need to retire. And with everything, with our overhead for the business and everything right now, we didn't have the ability to save the amount of money that we wanted to save to build that retirement nest egg.
For sure. So then, kind of as we dove into this, obviously when we first started, you even told me like, yeah, we have a baby on the way. Like this is kind of all happening, and now, what is it? We're about 5, 6 months in.
Mm-hmm.
What was the revenue generated from following our process? What was the kind of outcome you've achieved by working with this the last 6 months?
So I was able to generate, and this is just me. Well, I guess my wife also, because we both handle corporate. We were able to generate about $90,000 of income.
Wow,
Um, yeah, over like 5 months or so.
that's insane, man. That's so cool to see. It just shows you how like the right offer, the right person at the right time makes a big difference. What do you feel like of our process? Our coaching, this experience, like made the biggest difference for you, and why do you feel like you were able to make that kind of money in such a short period of time?
So for me personally, um, what helped me the most was the coaching and the teaching on how to speak to clients, how to kind of speak to them from an emotional standpoint, how to make our conversations more meaningful,
Mhm.
because more meaningful conversations lead to a higher amount of
Sure.
closures. So it was really a lot of that. But I'd like to say I'm in a pretty weird predicament because there's a lot of marketing that you all teach that just by going through it, I know it's extremely helpful and extremely beneficial. But I didn't implement any of it, and I was still able to generate, almost 100K, of income, in less than a half a year. So I can only imagine if I sat down and plotted out and scheduled time to actually do everything in terms of the marketing, that's suggested in the curriculum. I could only imagine, the amount of.
You could see how pretty quickly you could generate, hundreds of thousands of dollars or more if you started to apply all of it combined. But you just implemented our sales process with these higher ticket clients, and you were able to really make, you're probably able to take people who were not high ticket clients and turn them into premium clients, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. Exactly. A lot of these were clients who again, they weren't necessarily, high earners or we'll say like, CEOs or anything of that nature, but during the sit down conversations, I really was able to kind of get to the core of what the actual issue is, and kind of get through some emotional and mental walls there, and then that really kind of separates me from the crowd,
Yep.
where, oh wow, this is somebody who, is really going to be able to change my life, so you can't really put a price tag on that.
Yeah, man, it's crazy to see. I mean, once we help you guys with the offer and like the right kind of communication on that, you blew up, and you obviously, we have way more to go, but just to see you've done this in less than 6 months, I mean,
Mhm.
$90,000 is insane for somebody who's, and you're established too, and you're experienced, which is really cool to see. Like you added that revenue, and you're already a very experienced person. So, you would expect someone who's a beginner to add kind of a high revenue because they don't know anything. But to take someone like you, who's already successful, you guys are already doing like $10,000, $20,000 a month plus, and then to
Yeah.
add that on top of it means that like this is a whole new ball, like just a whole new area of implementation that added a lot of revenue, which is whenever I see experienced coaches make this kind of wins, it just shows you how many people are missing like the right information and they just go the wrong route. So I guess what would you say to somebody in a similar position, who was maybe a personal trainer, they're transitioning online, or maybe they're already successful, they want to add maybe another 100 grand plus of revenue. What would you say to them in that position?
I would say, like anything, if you look at any major company, the one of the number one things that they pour their money into is marketing, and so they hire a marketing team who's been through years and years and years of marketing, and they know the ins and outs of it. So marketing is going to be for anybody. If you're running a business, if you're looking to start a business, you know, it's going to come down to your ability to market and or sell and close.
Yep.
So it's one of the best investments you can make for your company and for yourself.
Yeah, I agree. And I think also the fact is like we're experts. So it's like you're not learning from some random person. It's like fitness expert to fitness expert. So you know that you're in good hands. I think there are a lot of people out there selling things they've never done, or they're teaching something. But when it comes down to it, you've got to you have to implement what you've actually done. And you coming through this program, you're able to see that we're gonna teach you on the level of like fitness expert, not just like random marketing tactics, which is why you've even blown it up more. So obviously I'm excited to see what you do as we move forward. But this is just an incredible win, I think, for you, but also to show anybody in your position that, maybe you're skeptical, maybe you're not sure what to do. Like this is a great investment in your long term.
Yeah,
So
hands down, it's one of the best investments you can make as a business owner in our field. And yeah, I'll say I wasn't so much skeptical of the company, of you all, of the plans of the company. I was more so a skeptic of, I'll say, myself.
yeah,
Just come. I'm a kid from Chicago. I grew up pretty poor. So I felt as though, who's going to want to pay me, $30,000, $30,000, for my expertise, like I almost felt as though they would look at my skin tone and then they would, develop judgments and like, well,
Yep.
I don't trust that, but the exact opposite, the exact opposite, you come off with confidence, you truly believe in yourself, and with the teachings that you all, can instill in business owners, it really changes the game, and it has nothing to do with skin tone or race, religion, nothing at all. Because we're able to connect with these people on a personal level. Really get through walls that they may have had up for 10, 20, 15 years. And really show them how we can make a difference in their life, not just right now, but moving forward. When they're 60, 70, 80 years old.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's cool. You realize that this is for anybody who wants to make more money and also do it in an ethical way. Like you want to help, we want to teach you how to help people and ultimately do a
Exactly.
good job.
Yeah. No
And I think
trick. Yeah. No
that's really
scam.
important.
It's just all organic. It's like, yeah, it's organic.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Del, man, well, it's been obviously an honor to help you, and you only even scratched the surface of what we're teaching you. So I'm excited to see what's ahead. But I mean, with a new baby, with all this going on, you still generated $90,000. No excuses, which I'm really really proud of, because so many people feel like they can't do it. They've got all these reasons they can't do it, or maybe it wouldn't work for them. But if it worked for you and you're already experienced, that means you know a lot. It clearly there's something new for many people to learn, but if their mind isn't open or they have too many judgments, same thing, they miss that opportunity to generate more revenue and also have more freedom, which is what I feel like this has given you, which has been cool to see.
Yes, a lot more freedom because uh, I'm not working nearly as much as I was, before, when we were generating 15, 20,000 a month, I was working 10, 12 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week, just kind of going, full speed on, just trying to grind it out. But, I really switched everything up, switched the approach up, the style of training, and now, I'm working maybe half of that, now, which is what we ultimately wanted, because now I have time, I'm home, I'm home in the middle of the day, so I can look after and take care of our little baby girl. And I'm also home, by like 4, 5, 6 o'clock, so I'm home more often, which is what ultimately is what I wanted.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like now you're able to increase your income, work less, and now you also know how to do that moving forward, to where we have more systems and ways for you to generate even more income and control while delivering a high quality service, which is really, at the end of the day, you want people to be happy and you make a lot of money, which is like kind of the dream of any online business owner. So
Yeah.
for sure, man. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on today. I know you're busy. I know you've got a lot of stuff going on, but I just couldn't help but to share such an awesome, result, because so many people are in your exact situation. They're afraid, all right, what if it doesn't work for me? What if I can't do it? And you've gone through all that yourself and you've knocked it out of the park, being very busy, having your first child, having a lot of uncertainty in your life. You didn't make any excuses. You made it happen. Even bringing up the skin color, the judgment, the things that you felt also even underneath the surface, you dealt with and you still overcame, which is really awesome. So yeah, super cool, man. Kudos to you. And it's been really fun helping you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it's been a blast for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.